So I'd like to tell you how to use these videos. These videos, first and foremost, are best to use if you have a teacher. A teacher is the primary source of learning from this book and benefiting from this book. Someone that will be able to explain it to you, break down the concepts, and explain it in a way that you understand. That is the best way to go about it. And it's also best to study in a class environment with other students. However, if you don't have that, you can use the videos and you can definitely benefit from it and it can help you. I would advise you to still find someone where you can contact them, someone that knows Arabic or can teach Arabic. And if you have questions, you could go and meet them and ask them questions, or perhaps send a message, send an email, whatever the case may be. That will definitely help you. The second thing is that you'll need to buy this book if you want to benefit from these videos. You will need to purchase these books. This book, I'm thinking it costs about $25. It's available from Darussalam, who publishes the book, Darussalam, and you can also find it from Amazon. You can buy the series of 1, 2, and 3, or you could just buy one at a time. Now, you'll find that the videos have been arranged in 4 parts, and some of them you'll see 5, a 5th part, but most of the times, there are 4 parts. Part 1 is where we explain the concepts that are being explained in each lesson, the grammatical concepts. Part 2 is where we go through the vocabulary of the lesson. Part 3 is where we do the reading exercises, we read it. Part 4 is where we do the written exercises, written, verbal, whatever exercises have been put there, which is other than reading. So sometimes they ask you to fill in the blanks and so on. So again, part 1, concepts, 2, vocabulary, 3, the reading of the lesson, and 4 is the exercises. And part 5 is where I would give like extra benefits, like an example of a Quranic verse and a hadith, where you see the concept being applied. So part 1, the concepts. You need to have a daftar, you need to have a notebook, where you take notes of all of the concepts that are being explained. You need to have that organized in a notebook. Because sometimes you're studying something and it will be hard to go and find a video to look and find the concept being explained again. You need to have it in a notebook where it's easily accessible. And have it organized, use color markers and so on if you need to do it, to make it nice and neat. That's only going to be for notes. Then you need to have part 2, which is the vocabulary. You need to approach it with the use of index cards. So every vocabulary word, you must write it on the index card. And I suggest you take the index card, the 3x5 index cards, you write the word in Arabic, no English, Arabic, and then you put a picture of that word. And you don't have to be an artist. If you see the word big, you want to write the word big, you combine it with the other word small. So kabir and saghir, and you draw a little stick figure, something big, something small. A big circle, a small circle. Big and small. So the less of the English language you use to understand the vocabulary and memorize vocabulary, it's better and it's more effective. And you need to use these index cards on a regular basis. You also need a set of index cards, or you can put a section in your notebook for notes, grammar notes, where you write down the grammatical vocabulary itself. The mubtada, which is the subject, the khabar, which is the predicate. These words need to be separate, and you need to go through them on a regular basis, because they'll be used in the explanations. Part 3, the reading, all you need to do is follow in your book, along with the video. Listen to it, the first time being read to you. The second time, try to read along with me. And the third time, pause the video and try to read it before I read it. And see if your reading is correct. But you need to make that effort. Part 4, the exercises. You need to do all the exercises that are in the book. Every exercise. And you need to make sure you understand it well. Even though I will do it for you, if I'm going to start the exercise, let's say exercise 1, fill in the blanks. Okay? I may explain what you will need. I will explain the instructions, which is in Arabic. I'll explain it to you in English. If you understand it from there, you could go and proceed and do all of the questions. If not, you can wait for me to do number 1, which will be an example. Pause the video, you do number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to the end. Then you repause the video, play it and then see if it was correct or not. But you need to do the exercises. And part 5, extra examples of Quranic verses and ayat, you need to have it documented in a separate book and try to memorize them or familiarize yourself with these ayat. My personal advice is that you should master each lesson before you move on to the next lesson. Master it. Make sure you know it very well. You'll find that learning Arabic is very mathematical in a sense that if you don't understand lesson 1, you will not understand lesson 2. If you don't understand lesson 2, you will not understand lesson 3. So you need to master one lesson and then go on to the next. Other tip or advice is that whenever you get the opportunity to use the Arabic language, you meet someone that is Arab or speaks Arabic, speak to them in the language or use whatever you know just to practice what you're learning, or write it in a letter or send a text message with it to someone that you know, but use it. And lastly, whenever you recite the Quran or you read a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ in Arabic, ponder and contemplate upon the meaning of the text. What is the text? What is it trying to say? What is the construction? Is that a mubtada, a khabar? Is there a subject, a predicate, an adjective? Try to understand it so you can be more comfortable with the language and apply what you've learned. Inshallah. Hopefully, we pray and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us and whoever wants to benefit from this course to do so. Indeed, He is As-Sami'ul Alim. He hears our dua and He can answer it. Jazakallahu khairan.